Parade season is still going strong, and so are we. Today we're excited to start with the Cypress by Willowwood. Then Jay Bartek is back at our remodel with Red Hawk to inspect the fabulous installed Task lighting rods. Hi, I'm Devin Lillianquist.
And I'm Heather Osmond. You'll definitely want to see what European marble and granite have in store for our kitchen remodel. It's absolutely breathtaking.
As promised, we travel today up to Bear Lake to meet Natalie Hershey. Then it's back to Northern Wasatch to tour Andover by Sterling Homes. You won't want to miss a moment of today's show, and it starts now.
I'm Randy Johnson, and I am the owner of Willowwood Homes, along with my wife, Laura.
I'm Dason Johnson. I'm the youngest of my siblings.
As a kid, I was out framing, actually nailing roofs with a hammer and nails.
I'm the youngest. All my brothers wanted to work during the summer too, because it was good money. So then it was like, okay, what do we have the youngest guy do? I think there's some garbage going down the slope like forever. Like, why don't you go pick those up? And anyway, so that's kind of how I started doing construction.
I'm a coworker, a wife, a mom. I work in this company designing, picking all the paint, the textures, the flooring. My favorite part about this home is that it has really high ceilings, and as you come in the entry, it has a great entry where you walk in and it feels like it's really open and there's lots of light, and the colors are real conducive. It makes you feel like you could just go home and gather up all your clothes and just move right in.
Laura has become a very integral part of not only this year did she do all of the interior design, but she also does, along with my son who brings that young mix into it. Between them, they are a really good balance of picking both colors for tiles, floors, wall paints, stains. There's so many things that really is what brings a home to life, and it's those little details that really make the difference of a home that stands out versus one that's not quite as attractive.
He knows how to say it.
I mean, the hardest time during the parade was when nobody would talk, when they would think you were the salesman. And it's like, look, I don't even care if you remotely want to buy this house, just talk shop. What's your next remodel idea? And let's talk about what floor I put in here and what I did. And that's the fun part, is when people want to just talk about the work that you did and what's special to them.
We've actually built probably 5 or 6 parade homes, mostly through the late 90s into the early 2000s. And then as it slowed down a little bit through that 2008 range, then we weren't involved in parades. But we figured it was a good time, especially with the new dynamics that we have with both my youngest son and also working so closely with my wife, helping with colors, that we figured it was time to get a parade home out so people would have an opportunity to see who we are, the type of work that we do, and have an opportunity to learn about us and be able to build with us.
I think just to hear people's feedback and what they say. Everybody's different. You're not gonna get some people will like different things about the house, or it doesn't have quite the square footage here, or they may like stuff there. But in general, I like to hear what people say. And some of the feedback that we got was when they entered the house and they saw I want to mention too, one of my favorite parts about the house was the railing.
That was cool. The feedback was awesome. I mean, you get people to be like, you should have, in this house, they're like, why didn't you put a handrail on the right-hand side?
The upstairs railing, how bright and white it was, and how we had to make sure that was one of the things we put into this house. We'd seen it in a previous parade, so we thought we got to do that in this house.
So you think about that, you're like, okay, that feedback is good. Should we have Or can they just use the other one because they're not gonna have a constant flow of traffic going up while someone's going down?
Just, I think generally just the feedback and the way it made people feel. And they would go throughout the house and they'd end up in the kitchen and they would just stand in the kitchen and they would just make a 360-degree turn as they turned around and looked at everything. There's so much to see in that kitchen, from the railing up above to the kitchen and then into the family room and the high fireplace. And people were just, they just had such a bright look on their face, like, I could live here, this is awesome. So that's what I enjoyed.
You know, I could live in this home. That's the thing I like. My favorite part is truly I can see my family in this home. I can picture it. I can see me where I want to be on the master, and I can see the kids upstairs. The basement's cool. It's got a gym, it's got a family room. It's just got all the key factors that someone would need to entertain and to also have a good family.
Task Lighting is a leading innovator in specialty home lighting. Steven and I are installing their Sempria line of lighted closet rods. They provide direct down lighting onto clothing or anything else in the closet. They're extremely well engineered and provide beautiful light.
We have 4 standard colors. What you have here is our bronze. We also have a black, a white, and a satin nickel. We have those 4 primary ones, but we have a lot of people that want something custom. And so we're willing to custom color your closet rod any which way you want.
The Sempria LED lighted closet rods are low voltage, driven by these 15-volt DC hardwire or plug-in drivers. The LEDs have a lifespan of up to 50,000 hours, putting off a warm white or neutral light. Here you go.
Thanks, buddy.
When you look at a system like this in a closet, for example, even when you would have one incandescent light bulb, which was 60 watts in there, we can put lighting throughout this entire space and have less than 60 watts inside of there. So for the first time in a 100+ year industry, in the lighting industry, you can calculate a payback on your light fixtures.
As I look at this, it's very intricate.
Most people don't realize just how much weight you have in your closet from your clothing itself. As you can see from the end here, we have an aluminum substrate that goes across here, and it's an aluminum extrusion that has an architectural alloy to it, so it's extremely strong. When we first designed this and we got the prototype pieces back in from the extruder, we wanted to see how strong this really was. So we had a 12-foot section, we stretched it across 2 bars, and I was doing pull-ups off of that piece. And then we lowered it and we walked across it. So it's extremely durable. With that being said, by code, every 4 foot, you have to have some type of support in your closet so that way it doesn't fail. Even the color of the light, we have some options that we can do from a standard basis. What you have here is 2700 Kelvin. We can do a 3000 Kelvin, which is the color of the light, so either a warm white or a cool white. In this application, your warm white looks great because of those natural wood tones, and it really makes them pop.
If you think old world craftsmanship is a thing of the past, or that the term customer service in the construction industry is an oxymoron, we've got great news for you.
European Marble and Granite represents the embodiment of quality and service. Their rich company heritage and customer satisfaction is unsurpassed.
Some things never change, and in the case of European Marble and Granite, that's a good thing.
What we do to get ready to fabricate and install this particular product is, once cabinets are in and installed, we will come in and we'll send a templater. Templater will come in and do an exact measure to the cabinets themselves, take any specific notes that are needed for us to cut and fabricate to size so it has a nice fit and nice finish ending. People have to understand that this is a natural product. Quarries are taking big blocks out of a mountain and then slicing it up like bread, and then bringing it to us, and we get to install it into homes. This is not some engineered product. This is not plastic. It's not consistent. And so in that respect, stone itself is actually very unique. You're getting a piece of Mother Nature in your home. One of the things that's very common in our world is the material thickness. Most of the materials in slab form come in either a 2 cm or a 3 cm, and that translates to either 3/4 of an inch or about 1 1/4 inches. In here, we actually did 1.5 inches with a 3/4 inch material. From our standpoint, we like to install pieces in the biggest possible that we can and even minimize the joints that we can in a kitchen. In this particular case, we had a very large piece. There was the main peninsula piece here, and it didn't quite fit. In that case, we're able to bring on some on-site fabricator to kind of fix it up and make it look like it didn't even happen. The little saying that we say is, your imagination is our challenge.
These days, ease and convenience are often the standard by which decisions are made when it comes to our busy lives. We want it quick, we want it easy, but we still want the quality.
It's no different when it comes to remodeling. One company, Pacific Pride Doors, has taken this concept to a whole new level. If you like the current trend of barn doors, you'll love their barn door in a box.
While we typically don't get into the DIY projects, we just had to show you this great door and how with it, you can turn ordinary into extraordinary.
Everything you need is in this box for easy assembly and installation. No worries trying to figure out all the individual pieces, as the box comes complete with all the needed components. By assembling the barn door in a box yourself, you determine the orientation of the knots. That means you yourself are the artist creating your own one-of-a-kind door. If you'd rather have a one-panel layout design, well, simply leave off the diagonal strap. For our door, we're going to keep that traditional barn door look and use the diagonal piece.
These doors are made from quality knotty alder wood from the state of Washington. The planks that make up the door are engineered to last for years without warping or twisting. Use all of the planks to cover a 35-inch door. Leave one plank out, and now you've got a 30-inch door. You can even take out 2 of the planks to make a 24-inch door. Every one of these planks is numbered for ease of assembly.
The barn door in a box assembles in minutes thanks to the pre-drilling of the screw holes for assembly and for the door hardware. High-quality J-hook oil-rubbed bronze hardware is included, along with complete installation instructions.
This door is extremely versatile overall. If you have a shorter door opening or a custom application, you can actually cut it down in height to fit that application.
Be sure to join us next week for more of the best in our remodel project.
I'll take any opportunity to visit Bear Lake, but today is a special treat because we get to know Natalie Hershey, the force behind the Bear Lake Home Builders Association.
I think that I became an EO in a very untraditional manner. Most people would become an EO after being in the field for a little while, getting used to the HBA, maybe being a builder or an associate, and then coming in and kind of taking over. I became an EO because I moved to the area and I didn't have a job, and a friend thought I was looking for something and said, hey, the HBA is looking for someone to help out. I didn't have any prior experience in the actual building world. I do have prior experience in the banking world, which did help me get my foot in the door that way as far as the financing and mortgages go with building and, of course, construction loans. My main job is organizing the Parade of Homes, doing all the marketing for it, showcasing the houses, showcasing the builders. We have a very large following from our local community, and they're very accommodating considering that we bring in a couple thousand people each year for the Parade of Homes. The HBA itself consists to support our builders here in the community and help them lobby for the building codes that help keep them in business. We do a little bit of that up in our area, but like I said, the majority of my job is the Parade of Homes. We're in a very interesting community as far as being quite rural. We have a select few of builders that do actually work here in the area. They focused right here on this area. They're not traveling outside and building in Logan or Salt Lake. They live and they work right here. We occasionally get a few builders that will come in from the Salt Lake or Logan area, so they end up not sticking around, not continuing to work here in the area. We just have a very tight-knit community of builders, but then on the other hand, they are incredibly competitive, but not so much that we can't cooperate and work together. However, other HBAs as well have a big associate membership base where we don't have that, because all of our subs, they know that the builders are loyal to them and gonna stay with them regardless. Well, our Parade of Homes is the best in the state, obviously, because it is Bear Lake. We usually only have about 7 to 10 parade homes in the parade each year, but it's a huge, wide array of homes. We'll have homes that are $150,000 to $170,000, little 2-bedroom bungalows, up to multi-million-dollar beachfront cabins. You can see just about everything that a builder could possibly build in our parade. Here in the Bear Lake area, this community is benefited by all the visitors that come to the area. During our summer months, which obviously are big seasonal months, we have about 60,000 people come to town every weekend. The Parade of Homes capitalizes on those visitors, and we bring in more visitors just to participate in the Parade of Homes itself. They're coming in and they're staying in the local hotels, they're eating in our local restaurants, they're benefiting the community and bringing those of us that do live here full time steady work and allowing us to continue to enjoy this place year round. Parade of Homes, it's popular mainly because it is a good entertainment value. Maybe about 5% of the actual parade goers are looking to build a home and looking for a contractor. Everyone else is out there just looking for the newest trend, looking for maybe ways to get some ideas to decorate their home. I know for me as a child, it was a really fun activity that my mom and my sisters and I used to do every single year. I grew up in St. George, so that's the Parade of Homes that I originally went to. And then I moved up here. That's probably my greatest memory and what has kept me going strong with this position and supporting the Parade of Homes the way I do.
If you miss the stately look of brick on a home's exterior, you'll love the Andover by Sterling Homes. And the brick exterior, it's just the start of Andover's charm. That's coming up next.
My name is Kevin Bailey. I'm with Sterling Homes. I'm a third-generation builder. My grandfather and fathers were both builders and loved to build homes. From about the time of 9 or 10, I'd be out on site sweeping and cleaning up. That's kind of my construction background. I really didn't initially want to go into building because I'd done it throughout high school and junior high, and there was something that kind of brings you back to it. I don't know of another industry where you create something that's going to be there for 100, 125 years that people can see. When somebody comes to me and they want to build a home, it kind of depends on at what price point they are. Do they want to do a custom home where we're going to go and get an architect and design this home and a designer and work through all that? Or are they looking for something that isn't quite as big, where I've got a stock plan that I can use that's one of mine that I've built before? The homeowner was really involved up front with the architect. And the architect was good because what he did is he went to them and said, hey, how do you want to live? What kind of bedrooms, what kind of rooms do you want? How does your family use this home? And then he was able to design a home that really allows them to take advantage of the outside space. This homeowner has a boat that he needs a place to store. So they were able to do a detached garage, but then also put a kitchen and a bathroom attached to that was right next to the pool and allowed them to use that space really well. Some of the highlights on the Foxtrotter home for me, I really love the brick that we put on there. Beehive Brick was the distributor, but they brought it in from down south. So it looks like it's a older brick. All of the headers and the sills were all limestone. On the outside of the home, we actually did gas lanterns to still kind of give that old historic effect. One of my favorite things was the stereo system. There was a satellite speaker and a subwoofer that I loved. I think that's one of the nice things about these homes is you can get a historic look to it, but then you also can bring in some modern technology. When I was a kid, I remember down the street there was a cul-de-sac that was a fixed site. And I remember going there and I was just amazed at how cool the houses were back then. And they had all sorts of different features. And it's funny because as I've stayed kind of in the same area my whole life, as I drive past that cul-de-sac, I always think that was a parade cul-de-sac. And then as I've grown up and I've been involved with parades and I've been to the fixed sites, every time I pass where the fixed site is, you're going, okay, that was a parade, that was a parade, that was a parade. I think that at that point, it kind of becomes something that you do. Instead of buying a couple movie tickets and a bucket of popcorn and being gone for 2 hours, you can take a couple weekends and spend time with your family and take them out and see some amazing homes. And I think it's interesting because a lot of the times people aren't necessarily looking to buy a new home, they're more looking for design ideas. They want the ability to take some of the stuff that they've seen at the parade and try and integrate it into their home. I think that I will do more and more parade homes. When you're in the heat of battle, you're going, why did I do this? Because it's not an easy thing, but at the very end of it, it's very rewarding.
The Andover really has a New England feel to it.
Add a hot bowl of clam chowder and a lobster roll, you'd think you're in Boston.
You're making me hungry.
I heard your stomach growl.
You heard that? From Massachusetts to Utah and beyond, we feature the best of the best in home design, products, and building, but you'll only find it here on the Parade of Homes show.
And if you're in the mood to look at some 2017 homes, the Park City Showcase of Homes goes for 2 more days, and the Iron County Festival of Homes goes through September 4th.
Hey, we'll save you a place in line. I hear Cedar City's off the hook this time.
I think we should go.
Let's do it.
Tomorrow.
Road trip.
Done.